Good morning, Rock of Ages, and blessings to you this day. Today we're going to be talking about the fourth commandment. So we finished the third, now we're on the fourth, and just how this is a call for us to honor our father and mother, but also to respect those in authority over us. It's something really hard for us, I think, as um, Canadians, influenced a lot by American culture as well, and this new democratic ethos, which I think really has a lot of the revolutionary thinking of the American Revolution and the French Revolution has kind of seeped into a lot of nations, especially in the West, with a hatred and a denial and a dismissal of those in authority and those who rule over us. And anyway, I know there's all sorts of thoughts, but here we're going to see what our general stance should be by following David and taking a look at how he dealt with the wicked king who was in authority over him. So here we have the story from David from 1 Samuel 24. Now it happened when Saul had returned from following the Philistines that it was told him, saying, "Take note, David is in the wilderness of En-gedi." Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men from all Israel and went to seek David and his men on the rocks of the wild goats. So he came to the sheepfold by the road, where there was a cave, and Saul went in to attend to his needs. David and his men were staying in the recesses of the cave. Then the men of David said to him, "This is the day of which the Lord said to you, Behold, I will deliver your enemy into your hand, that you may do to him as seems good to you." And David arose and secretly cut off a corner of Saul's robe. Now it happened that afterwards David's heart troubled him, because he had cut Saul's robe, and he said to his men, "The Lord forbid that I should do this thing to my master, the Lord's anointed, to stretch out my hand against him, seeing that he is anointed of the Lord." So David restrained his servants with these words, and did not allow them to rise against Saul. And Saul got up from the cave and went on his way. David also arose afterward, went out of the cave, and called out to Saul, saying, "My lord, the king." And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth and bowed down. And David said to Saul, "Why do you listen to the words of men who say, 'Indeed, David seeks your harm'? Look, this day your eyes have seen the Lord delivered you today into my hand in the cave. And someone urged me to kill you, but my eyes spared you, and I said, I will not stretch out my hand against my Lord, for he is the Lord's anointed. Moreover, my father, see, yes, the corner of your robe in my hand. For in that I cut off the corner of your robe and did not kill you. Now know and see there is neither evil nor rebellion in my hand, and I have not sinned against you. Yet you hunt my life to take it. Let the Lord judge between you and me. Let the Lord avenge me on you, but my hand shall not be against you. As the proverbs of the ancients say, wickedness proceeds from the wicked, but my hand shall not be against you. Okay, brothers and sisters, there's a lot going on here, but look at this. So Saul is actually wickedly seeking David. I think we can just do this pretty quick. Saul is wickedly seeking David with 3,000 men, looking to kill him. And David's men naturally see when he comes into the cave to attend to his needs. David's men say, "Well, look at this. This is a great opportunity. Just take him out right now, right? This is just an opportunity to get what you want. Reach out your hand, stretch, do evil, rebel against your king." And David went and he secretly cut off a corner of Saul's robe, and even that, just damaging the robe in some sense, troubled David's heart, right? Because he had cut Saul's robe. And he said to the men, "The Lord forbid that I should do this thing to my master, the Lord's anointed," right? And here's where he's understanding that God has made Saul king. And when we understand from Romans 13 that the Lord has placed all governing officials in their spots, we understand that they are indeed all kind of, in a sense, the Lord's anointed or the Lord's servants, ministers for the Lord. And to stretch out our hand against them is to stretch out our hand against the Lord, as Romans 13 teaches us. So David restrained his servants with these words and did not allow them to rise against Saul. Anyway, he goes after him, right? And then he kind of says, you're seeking to harm me, but I would not harm you. I will not hurt you. I've not come to kill you. There's no rebellion in my hand, right? And but then he relies on the Lord, and this is what we really need to do when we're dealing with wicked rulers. We so often want to use our words and our we want to despise them and speak out evilly against them, but we're called not to not recognize that they're evil, not to not recognize that they've done wrong, but to call the Lord to account with them, and the Lord to deal with them. But our hand itself shall not be against him. Now, there's different scenarios and different ways in which other people have been given authority to potentially fight a king, but we so often have not. We so often are not in a position where we come out against our lords and our rulers. And so we have to be careful to be obedient in this, and to see that the fruit often of rebellion is not actually good things. It's normally wickedness. Okay, so here let's look at the fourth commandment. So it says, "Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you." What does this mean? This means that we should fear, love God, so that we do not despise our parents and those in authority, nor provoke them to anger, but honor, serve, obey, love, and think highly of them. Right? How often do we not think highly of our leaders at all? How often do we not think highly of our parents? And if we think about this, how in our hearts, from a young age, we were able to quickly, despise our parents, and then we think, well, now I'm also despising my government. I'm also despising those who lead us, and it's a kind of a dangerous place to be. It's not to say parents are infallible, but yet it is to say that, or governments. Our position, though, should be a posture of love towards them. Why should you honor your father and your mother? I should honor my father and mother because God has placed them over me. God has placed them over me to care for my physical, emotional, and spiritual welfare. Ephesians 6, 1-3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you, and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. What does it mean to honor your father and mother? I honor my father and mother when I give them my respectful, loving, willing obedience, and faithfully serve them with all my days. Luke 2:5-1. Then he went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. So Jesus was obedient to Mary and Joseph, which is incredible, right? God placed as their child is obedient and listens. God listens to his parents. Isn't that kind of wild? Who should you honor besides your parents? I should honor all those God has placed over me, such as guardians, employers, pastors, teachers, and government officials. Right? How countercultural is this? Hebrews 13:17. Have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority, because they keep watch over you as those who must give an account. Do this so that their work will be a joy, not a burden, for that would be of no benefit to you. Okay, so brothers and sisters, we see, right, this again and again, a call to honor our parents, honor those who are above us, honor those who are given to authority. Now, there's situations, right, where we are called to speak out against evil. We're called, indeed, to call out wickedness. It's not to say that is not part of our role as Christians. And yet it is to say that we have a posture of humility before them. We have a posture of love before our leaders. I know during COVID by myself, I think I had this... I had a more of a revolutionary mindset than I like to think. We were kind of raised, I think, in this sort of mix, in this environment. The air that we breathe is sort of revolutionary, and we need to question that. Is that what we actually want? Is that actually Christian to have these revolutionary ideas? Instead, we see often that the Christian way is to submit to authority, to love those who are in charge of us, and to trust in the Lord for vindication when wickedness is there. And yes, we use our words to speak out. Yes, we will indeed defy authority if it's acting wickedly. And a lot of times authority does act wickedly, and they need to be held to account. But we don't raise our hands against those in authority. Again, more on this another time. But the Lord's blessings on you, and may just faithfully be with you all day today.